It is finals day here at the Margaret River Pros. Semi-1 underway for the men now. Caio Ibelli has his hands full with an informed John.
But John authoritative in that instance there. And here's the replay. Couple of first snaps straight into a tail wafting.
And the exchange has started early here. Caio finishing one on the inside. Beautiful big carve there from John Florence. Up into the lip again. Hammers that section and manages to get his board back up there, but can't ride out of that final manoeuvre. But the opening carve was beautiful. Ronnie Blakey with the 88 world champ, a two-time winner here at Margaret River, Barton Lynch. It's firing out there, Barton.
Close out turn that, well, it looked a little bit awkward at times, but the speed in that turn there, Ronnie, just seemed to, it just lights the wave up. The speed that he is finding comes unstuck there, but a couple of big turns. I feel like the advantage goes to John on that opening exchange.
And you feel like John was going to have an advantage on that second wave in the set. It was a much cleaner wall that he had to work with.
Great point. And you know that John always, he rarely fights or gets into a tussle for the inside position at the start of a heat.
Well, drops to the bottom, loads up. He's been letting go of some beautiful carves. There's another one, whipping that board through the end of that first turn. Pushes it to get the board back up into the roof. Can't ride out.
Not sure about that wave choice right there.
King through for a victory at Bells, and definitely has a chance at getting the victory here at Margaret's for a third time.
Well, it just looks so familiar to him, the break, and he and this break just, sometimes you have a surfer and a wave, and together they just suit. Andy Irons and Chopu's a great example. And Joel Parkinson, say, at Jeffreys Bay. Those sorts of relationships, those sort of connections that a surfer has, nobody has that connection. Imagine that one could have been weighted. Here's Caio on better waves outside.
This one's standing up. Caio right on the apex of the peak, drops to the bottom, has some speed to burn through that first carve. Up into the hook again. He's had very nice, clean rails. His equipments look sharp throughout the contest, but he doesn't get the finish on that final move.
2017 performance was groundbreaking, historic, and will always be remembered as one of the greatest ever. And so far this week, back in Margaret River, back in the jersey. He's had a great start to the year. He comes here and he certainly has been the man to beat.
Both surfers struggling a little bit with those finishing turns. That wind strong, and if you get above that lip, Caio did well on his first ride to hang on to the move, but as you said, he was a recovery turn. It wasn't a turn where he was in complete control.
So 4 waves ridden and 3 endings incomplete. And the one that was completed, as you were alluding to, wasn't exactly confidently stamped. How every surfer has his kryptonite, that's certainly a fact. And for John, it is Caio. Here he goes.
Caio dropping to the bottom, staying very close to the bowl. Has to recover a little, but does well to get to the top and let go of some water. Starting to gather some speed for a big finish here.
Look at it here on the replay. It's blustery and windy out there, and that wind and the wave kind of got him caught behind. Sort of lost a bit of rail out at the bottom into another nice snap, but it was just sort of a speed check out at the top.
Florence on the outside, second wave in the set. First section, just letting go of some transition carves, lining up the inside now.
Oh!
Stays underneath it, had the right approach, just lost his front foot.
Foot might have just slipped off.
This has really been the key to John's success throughout the event, those first turns, really whipping. Unfortunately for John at the start of this ride, the wave flattened out a little bit. Recovered well through the second move and looked to really save a score here with this final turn, but something went wrong.
You see lands there in the front foot. Wow, just the board was flat and then it went to its rail.
So Caio's back out there now, but John Florence holds priority. He's also got the lead, trying to get rid of a 3.53 here. Big swoop off the top. Transitioning nicely, still moving plenty of water, but can't find an end section.
When the sets come here in the southwest, there is always more than one wave in a set, 99% of the time. John on the first wave of the set, you can just see there that bit slopier on the face. The texture's not as clean. He realises that it was a mistake. Caio finished his wave, but again, I think that the turns from Caio need some more arc. They need some more volume. They need some more sting in them.
Well, this heat is anybody's at the moment. 20 minutes to go. No big major scores on the board. Just a 6.83 for John Florence. rip into here. And on the outside, Caio's going to get an opportunity. First time we've seen him on the second wave of the set, and he makes good use of it. Big carve to get started. Throws a layback jam, but cuts it short to get to this end section. And it just feels that wind at the moment. It is giving the surfers a bit of trouble with the timing on that final manoeuvre. Look at his history in this contest, his history in this event. He's capable of much more, as is Caio, but that was a great opening manoeuvre on that new board.
Yeah, it was a lovely arc, and that was a short little jab out of the top and into the closeout re-entry, a completion, so that'll do the confidence well. And you can see the steeper face. There's that little bit of white water on it, but that doesn't matter. You can see he holds that rail, beautiful technique. I feel like there could have been a little more punch at the back end of that turn, perhaps, but he was thinking longer turn. You can see term. You can see it in that second turn too. That wasn't, I feel like those first two manoeuvres kind of had the end in mind. You look at the replay of John, this was a priority wave, a smaller wave, but he was looking for a clean face, and he was just looking to get the work done and improve on the 4-1-3 that he was counting at that point in time. And he does exactly that. It was a nice repertoire of manoeuvres, well served.
Likes what he sees. Opts to go, drops to the bottom, loads up and digs into his first carve. That one's got a bit more venom. And now moves through to the inside, needs more in order to get the number he's chasing. 6.61, and he just can't find the timing to get that board back up there. 15 minutes to go.
But in the end, it's not the sort of wave you're looking for. You want to put this guy out of contention. You want to just leave it, don't want to leave that door open at all. As Caio, fortunately for John, didn't get the last turn. It was a long time ago, but it still lives well in the memory, and we all love Margaret River. Caio Ibelli having a look on the inside, Blakey.
Had a couple of shots at this 6.61 and opts for a left-hander. We haven't seen too many of those. He kind of skips out in the bottom turn.
Look at this one.
Well, it's a solid looking wave. John Florence, late drop. Recovers well, has some speed. Just transitions through that first turn. Needs to make this one count and skips out off the bottom.
A big mistake there, and well played by Caio. And again, John could have easily have let Caio have that one away, but luckily for John, there was nothing behind it.
What goes wrong here, Button? Tricky takeoff. He does well there.
Oh, manages it beautifully. A bit slopey and flat in the face, and you can see here, he actually wanted to get that turn in early and get up onto that lip while it was presenting itself, and a little skip in the rail. So that was the door opening for Caio Ibelli, and here he is about to walk through it if he can.
Draws off the bottom into this first section. Nice carve to get started. Needs to finish off this ride with some authority, and again just gets the timing a little wrong. Nice combination.
Beautiful quick bottom turn, and the wrap is clean. But it's not anything that, the judges aren't going to see that as progressive or different, and then he needed a third turn on that.
Don't know if it's going to be 6.61 on the outside. Florence up again, and he rips in to the pocket of this wave, driving down the line, and there's that committed hit with that extra bit of punch to finish that ride off, and probably the most well-timed finish to a ride that we've seen.
Could very well have got the score, but with the two, I don't see it happening.
So John's trying to get rid of a 5.27 with this ride.
And look, he realises the importance of that, and there's energy and power in what John's doing as we look at this slow-mo. Drives out of the bottom, gets up high. You look at that back arm coming right around to get the full rotation, and then that whip in the tail to throw the spray and give it that little bit of extra spice that it needs. And this last turn is exactly the same. Into the lip. That's his go-to manoeuvre on closeouts. It won in Bells Beach, that manoeuvre kind of with everything else, but that was the cornerstone of the victory.
Heat score total getting up to his average heat score here at Margaret River, but Caio Ibelli on the outside has a huge section to work with. Doesn't get that first turn right, but did recover well. Second turn's better. He's starting to put the foot down now. So committed on the end section.
It'll be interesting to see who gets the priority in this situation, because it's going to be critical. There's that first turn. Second was much better, as you said in the live call. Straight up into the lip. The first one kind of hit that lip at an awkward time. And then again, it's beautiful wrap around into the completion. He knows how important it is.
A bit of water over the reef, so no dramas in executing that as we see Florence on the outside. Couple of big carves to get started. Up into the lip again. trying to get rid of a 6.83. And it'll be fun to have a look at that exchange there. But it is going to be a solid number for John Florence. Caio Ibelli's got his best number coming, but it doesn't feel like it's going to factor in. He's up at the moment. There's a better turn from Caio. A better combination as he leans back on the tail of that board, drives up into the lip, and moves through to the inside. He's finishing this wave off well. The work has been done, but he is going to need a pretty good score, because even though John did lose contact with the face of the wave a couple of times through those carves, they were still major manoeuvres, and it was the combination of 3 solid turns. He dropped the 7.43 lead, an 8.33, because his previous ride is 6.27, so we're waiting for scores. He's shaking his head.
Shouldn't he be punching it back out the back right now with a minute to go? It would seem that he's figured that he's declared an 8.33. Well, I feel like this is one of the very best waves of the heat. First snap, tight, had a little more in it. Second one, really strong, really attacking. Third one, vertical into the lip. Fourth one, another one of them layback variations. And I don't know about you, Ronnie, but I think he's a chance at getting the score here.
It's a much smaller wave, but John Florence, he got those bigger waves, and he did do some brilliant surfing, and he's just edged ahead of Caio. But it is another close one for these two, both scoring in the 14-point range. Decent numbers, but John Florence is moving through to the final.